broke into the major leagues, only one pitcher had more than 3,000 career strikeouts. 9 players have now made it past that plateau, with Big Tex and one other reaching the 4,000 strikeout level. But tonight, history is in the making as the Ryan Express heads for strikeout number 5,000. From Arlington Stadium, Home Sports Entertainment presents Texas Rangers Baseball. This exclusive presentation is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Texaco, star of the American Road. Sold out Arlington Stadium, and you know why. 5,000 is the big number, and it certainly is reachable tonight as Nolan Ryan goes to the mound for the Rangers in quest of his 15th victory of the year, and fans from everywhere are watching this one, including the Commissioner of Baseball, Bart Giamatti. From around the country, all over, the eyes are on the Texas Rangers, if you will, and isn't that a beaut? Hello again, everybody. I'm Merle Harmon along with Norm Hitzges. And Norm, the eyes of the nation certainly is on Arlington Stadium tonight, from Kennebunkport, Maine to who knows where.
Well, you know something's up in baseball when the president's office calls during the day of the game to get the coordinates for the satellite transmission so that the president on vacation can watch. This press box hasn't had this many people in it ever. There are 200 extra writers here tonight, probably more than you'd have for an American League Championship playoff.
And how does Nolan Ryan stack up against the closest competition as far as strikeouts are concerned?
Well, everybody else is well behind. Carlton is retired, 850 or more behind. Seaver Sutton, the next active, is nearly 1,500 behind. Burt Blyleven, he's pretty much Social Security age too, Merle.
Nolan Ryan has faced every team in the American League at least once this year, except his opponents tonight, the Oakland A's.
Boy, and has he been dynamite in first starts against teams. Nolan Ryan, when he faces teams for a first time this year, 12 of them he's faced the first time, 9-1, 2 no decisions. Look at the ERA, and Merle has struck out at least 7 every time.
His mound opponent tonight will be a very formidable foe, Bob Welch, who is 13-7.
Bob Welch, a fantastic pitcher. He's third in the 80s in wins behind Jack Morris and Dave Steve. In the 2 years he's been with Oakland, the A's are 40-20 in Bob Welch starts.
The A's, the defending champions of the American League, and they vow they will do it again this year. We'll be back with game 1 of the series between the A's and the Rangers in just a moment. The spotlight of the baseball world is on this man tonight, Nolan Ryan. And a sellout crowd of more than 40,000 this year. They were asking $250 a ticket to see this ball game tonight. Nobody, I don't think, would sell a ticket. Who would want to miss a game like this? As Nolan Ryan, 4,994 strikeouts in his 42nd year of his life, his 22nd year in the major leagues. And here he is facing this batting order tonight. Leading off in left field, Ricky Henderson. Carney Lansford at third base. Jose Canseco in right field. Ron Hasse is the catcher. Dave Henderson in center field. Mark McGuire at first base. Tony Phillips at second base. Terry Steinbach, the DH. Walt Weiss is the shortstop, and the pitcher, Bob Welch. Now the defensive alignment, Ruben Sierra will be in right field, Cecil Espy in center, and Pete Incaviglia in left. On the infield, Steve Buechele, Fred Manrique, Julio Franco, and Rafael Palmeiro from third to first. Chad Kruger is catching and Nolan Ryan, number 34. Big Tex is on the mound.
Nolan Ryan's allowed 1 or fewer runs 9 of his 24 starts. In all 24 starts this year, Ryan has gone at least 5 innings. And in 22 of his 24 starts this year, Ryan has struck out at least 6. His 14 wins is tied for 4th most in the American League. It's the most in one season Ryan has won since 1983, when he was 14-6 with the Houston Astros.
So Nolan Ryan is ready to go against Rickey Henderson. Ryan in his first appearance against Oakland this year. The last time he faced Oakland was July 5th, 1979, when he was with the California Angels. Here we go. Strike one. Henderson hitting a .285 with 9 homers and 48 runs batted in. Has hit 4 leadoff homers this year. He is the perfect leadoff man. The Rangers have won 3 straight and 4 of the last 5. No balls a strike. Henderson to be followed by Lansford and then Canseco. Breaking ball low and away, and it's 1-1.
Henderson has homered leading off a game 39 times in his career. That's already the all-time baseball record for leadoff homers in a game.
Nolan Ryan, a big night for him, a big night for everyone. And the breaking ball missing away, so it's 2 balls and a strike. The A's took over sole lead of the American League West yesterday with a 6-1 win over the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. It was a makeup game. They had been rained out earlier this year in Detroit. 3-1.
One of the problems that Ryan may have here is too much adrenaline. Merle, he's an adrenaline pitcher. He's probably as competitive a pitcher as the major leagues has ever seen, and it's possible on a night like tonight that Ryan may be too juiced up the first inning.
And of course, you always sometimes think maybe a pitcher can be a little bit too strong in a situation like this. And that ball ripped to left center to the gap. Espy trying to run it down, can't. It's off the wall. Henderson will go to second with a double. So the first man up is on for the Oakland A's. That pitch was up and Henderson jumped on it. That'll bring up Carney Lansford.
Ryan with a 3-1 count gets a fastball up above the letters, and Henderson really turns on this ball and rips it off the base of the wall.
So the A's have a man aboard for Carney Lansford, one-time American League batting champion, has hit safely in 17 consecutive games coming into this one tonight. Hitting at .333, 2 homers, 34 runs batted in. Strike at the knees.
This is by far the toughest of the Oakland hitters to strike out this season. Lansford whiffs only once every 21 and a half at bats. Basically, Merle, about once every 5 to 6 games he strikes out.
Henderson always a threat to steal. They got to watch him as he bluff moves to third, and Lansford went after the low pitch and didn't connect. Henderson, by the way, leads the American League in stolen bases with 60. So Ryan, who doesn't have the quickest move to the plate, Henderson watching him very closely as we check in on the stolen base leaders in the American League and see Espy of the Rangers in second place. Henderson a lead at second. Manrique cutting in behind him to try to cut that lead down. Henderson bluffs and time was called. No pitch. Henderson was off the bag on his way to third by about 20 feet when he stopped. So he keeps getting out there a little bit more on every pitch.
It appeared Henderson was going on that pitch, but when the umpire hollered time, he stopped. It looked like Henderson was taking off.
I thought he was. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, top of the first inning. Breaking ball stays too close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The A's have won 76 and lost 49. They lead the American League West. California now 1 game back. Henderson going to third as Manrique charges the bouncer, and he is out at first. So Henderson moves on to third. Lansford grounding out 6-3. Now, many times on a ball that might have been hit a little more slowly than that, with the speed that Henderson has, he has tried to score and many times has been able to accomplish that. Beautiful night in Arlington. Man, what an evening for baseball. 95 degrees, wind out of the south at 8, humidity down at 34%. Very comfortable. Jose Canseco is facing the Rangers for the first time this year.
And here is by far the easiest Oakland hitter to strike out. He strikes out about 1 every 3 times.
Big curveball, but it's up high. 1-0 the count on Canseco with 7 homers, 21 runs batted in. Hitting at .258 for the year. The A's are a tough team in the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. That's good for a strike. They're a tough team, let's face it. But in the first inning, this club has the knack of scoring runs, and when they do, that makes them that much more difficult to beat.
Well, they get ahead of you, and then they turn the screws on you with that fantastic bullpen. When this team gets ahead in the game, when they score first, they're 57-16 this year.
1-1 to Canseco. Fastball fouled away. Boy, Canseco liked that heat, but he was a little bit late on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
One gets the feeling that Canseco could be the first for sure.
Larry Young behind the plate. He will not forget this night. Larry McCoy at first, Jim McKeon at second, and Darrell Cousins at third of the umpire crew. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Canseco. Breaking ball. 4,995. Look at those K's behind the Oakland dugout. Next is Ron Hassey, the cleanup hitter. That's Dave Duncan, the pitching coach of the A's. And this A's pitching staff is something else. Ron Hassey at .235, 5 homers and 22 runs batted in.
Hassey, a .318 career hitter against the Rangers. And if you're wondering, hey, doesn't Dave Parker hit cleanup for this team? Yes, he usually does. Dave won't rejoin Oakland until Thursday. He's away to Len attending the funeral of his father.
That'll get a run in. Henderson will score. Oh, I beg your pardon. 2 down. That'll be 3 down. That takes care of that. So it's no runs and a hit, and 1 left on. Going into the bottom of the first, the A's do not score, although they got Henderson as far as third base after he doubled. And we'll be back with the bottom of the first right after this. Now let's see the batting order for the Rangers this evening. It'll be Cecil Espy leading off in center field. Fred Manrique at shortstop. Harold Baines will DH. Ruben Sierra in right field. Julio Franco at second. Rafael Palmeiro at first. Pete Incaviglia in left. Steve Buechele at third. Chad Kruger is catching, and the pitcher Nolan Ryan, who worked through the first inning, giving up 1 hit but no runs. Now the defensive alignment for Oakland. It'll be Canseco in right. Dave Henderson in center, Ricky Henderson in left. On the infield, third to first, Lansford, Weiss, Phillips, and McGuire. Ron Hassey is catching. Bob Welch.
32-year-old Bob Welch started with the Los Angeles Dodgers as a major leaguer in 1978 after being the first-round pick of the Dodgers in '77. Would you believe that with 13 wins, he is 4th on this staff in victories? Behind Moore, Stewart, and Davis. He's having another fabulous season. Bob Welch has been a quality pitcher throughout his major league career. This will be the 9th time in the last 10 years Bob Welch has had a winning record in a season. And Merle, as Cecil Espy steps in, Bob Welch goes in pursuit of strikeout number 1,556 in his career.
Which puts him a few behind Nolan Ryan as Espy looks at a strike over the outside corner. Espy hitting a .254 with 3 homers and 28 runs batted in. A switch hitter, .257 from this side of the plate. And it's no balls, 2 strikes.
He is 3,450 strikeouts behind Nolan Ryan.
34-50. That'll take him a while to catch up.
Yes.
No balls, 2 strikes to Espy. Lansford up into the air to pull it down, timing his leap. So Espy's bid for a base hit to left field along the line turns out to be a soft liner into the glove of Carney Lansford. Fred Manrique is next, the shortstop, hitting at .305 with 3 homers and 36 runs batted in.
Fred Manrique, after a red-hot start with the Rangers, has tailed off and is only 4 for his last 27, covering 7 games. Funny thing is, Merle, the Rangers had Manrique and Kunkel hot at once. Now they've got Manrique and Kunkel both cold at once.
And this little blooper hit out behind second is in there as Phillips dived and couldn't get it. So it's a base hit for Manrique. Tony Phillips giving it his best shot.
A thing of beauty it wasn't. A base hit it was.
So the Rangers have a base runner for Harold Baines, who's had a hot bat. Manrique is on, breaking an 0-for-7 streak. Baines batting .315 for the year with 15 homers and 65 runs batted in. He's hit .412 over the last 5 games. Foul down the left field line. No balls and a strike.
One thing Bobby Valentine, the Ranger manager, would love to see is the club jump on Oakland early for a couple of runs. He's very worried tonight that his club, which has been at times in the past distracted in big game situations or big crowd situations, he'd love to see them jump ahead and take some of that pressure off them.
Welch working to Baines with a runner at first. And another one foul down the left field line, headed for the stands, chased by Lansford, but no chance. You know, Norm, we mentioned earlier that the A's, when they score first, they're a tough team to beat. When they score first, they've been 57-16 this year. But when the opponent scores first, they're 19-33. So the Rangers need to get a run right now.
It's dramatic in baseball. What you think of yourself, oh, that's only one, that's in the first inning. Look at the sinus. The A's play a little bit with the publicity Ryan's got.
Yes. And the ball down low. Pose held by Ron Hasse for a moment.
It's going to be a long night, and Larry Young's going to have to make a lot of calls. But that one may have been missed. A fastball straight down the middle for a ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on, no score, bottom of the first. And another foul ball down the left field line, out of play. Boy, they've got banners out all over the place tonight. And we understand now that when Nolan Ryan pitches again, and he is scheduled for Sunday, that the ticket demand has already started. So we might say a word to the wise simply is better head for a ticket office tomorrow. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And little blooper hit to right field. Canseco comes up to make the catch. Throws back to first.
Got him.
Out at first base. Larry Young, the umpire behind the plate, going down to make the play. And Canseco catches Manrique off first and doubles him up, and the inning comes to an end. No runs a hit. We'll go to the second now. Oakland nothing, Rangers nothing on HSE. Nolan Ryan working to Dave Henderson, leading off in the top of the second. Ryan gave up 1 hit and struck out 1 in the first. Dave Henderson with 10 homers, 60 RBIs, hitting a .251. And right now he has a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. A little bit late getting back, but we thought you would enjoy seeing some of the highlights of Nolan Ryan's career as we go along this evening. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Dave Henderson, who's having a pretty good year for Oakland, wouldn't you say?
Henderson's provided some power that was missing when Canseco went on the DL, and Parker was up and down a bit this year. They had some injury problems early in the year, and a lot of people thought this might be the guy to fall apart on him this year after a big year last year.
You know, it seems like the time to move him is after he's had a great year.
Yeah.
Then he goes and has one for somebody else. Ryan 2-2. Here we go. 3-2. Fastball.
If you're looking for sheer averages, based on his season average, Nolan Ryan gets his 6th strikeout every game in the 5th inning. And he struck out at least 18 games in a row.
Strike 3. 4,996. We're delighted to have President and Mrs. Bush watching tonight and their party up in Maine. And there is George W. Hey, and Commissioner Bart Giamatti. I'll tell you what, George W. There's a little bit of tenseness in that face. But our welcome to the President and Mrs. Bush. As Mark McGwire takes the ball down low, 1-0.
This guy's comments in the paper today you had to like. McGwire said, I don't mind being 5,000. Somebody's got to be. I don't mind the distinction if it's me.
Ooh. 2-0.
Ooh. Larry Young's strike zone is not terribly large this evening, Mr. Harmon.
Tell you what, Nolan doesn't react too well to the call. I don't think I've ever seen him yell down to an umpire. He just stares at him. Ooh, overthrow. 3-0. You know, this is one of the things that Nolan Ryan had commented about his young catcher, his battery mate Chad Kruder. He has come to develop a very good relationship, a working relationship in game situations with Kruder. He says he blocks that low pitch as well as anybody that he's ever pitched to.
Kruder almost getting ready to become a footnote in history.
3 balls, no strikes to Mark McGwire. The green light's got to be on here. Don't you know? Fastball too high, a walk to McGwire. So 2 strikeouts and a walk now for Ryan in an inning and a third. Kennebunkport, Maine is the place for a big watch party tonight for this ball game, and there are watch parties all over, including Florida, which is hooked in on the Sunshine Network this evening, and we're delighted to have our affiliate from Florida with us. All you good baseball fans in Florida, stick around. We'll see what happens here tonight. Also, we are told now the Armed Forces Television Network has joined us. Tony Phillips, strike 1. Phillips at 243, 4 homers and 32 runs batted in. He's a switch hitter. What was it Phillips said about if he might become the 5,000th strikeout victim? He said, that's all right. People will remember me. No balls, a strike. 0-2.
Be careful, Tony. Nobody's going to remember 4997.
No score. Top of the second. The first place Oakland A's. The Texas Rangers at 65 and 57 are 9.5 back. They have won 3 in a row, as have the A's. Popped it right back this way.
Ooh, that's something I hadn't counted on. I wouldn't mind a Ryan game souvenir. How about you, Mr. Harmon?
As long as you catch it before it hits me right in the skull. Over 40,000 here tonight. This game was sold out many days ago.
Scalper tickets were going today in the afternoon. There were prices heard of as high as $200 for a good seat to tonight's game.
No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball. Foul tip. He's alive. That's a big backdoor breaking ball of Nolan Ryan. Hung up a little bit high and away, but Phillips went after it anyway.
One of the dangers that both Bobby Valentine and Nolan Ryan share tonight is losing sight of the importance of the game. Nolan Ryan's going to get 5,000 strikeouts, whether it's tonight or Sunday or the next Friday, who knows. This game's important, though. If the Rangers are going to remain in contention, they've got to screw it down tight this homestand, and the first game's critical.
You just saw a shot of Bobby Valentine. He said about an hour before the game, this is a big, big game for us. 4,997. And he wasn't just talking about strikeouts. He knows the importance of the national attention, almost the international attention on this game. And now Nolan Ryan closing in.
Ryan, breaking ball in the dirt. Here's a player next up, Steinbach, who's in the lineup because Parker's away. Parker would have been the DH here and not Steinbach this evening.
Ryan had worked Parker over pretty well, though, over the years.
Yeah, struck him out 21 times.
2 down, a runner at first, no score, top of the second. Terry Steinbach hitting at 303. 1-0. 5 homers, 35 runs batted in for Steinbach. The A's have won 7 of their last 10 games. The Rangers have won 6 of their last 10. Fly ball left field. This should wrap it up. Espy over, and Cavilla there, and Espy takes charge. So Ryan has worked the first 2 innings, has recorded 3 strikeouts. And we go to the bottom of the second. Oakland nothing, Texas nothing on HSE.
Remember to enter the Owens Country Sausage Texas Ranger Family Getaway. You can win a trip for your family to catch the Rangers playing here at Arlington Stadium. Send a postcard with your name and address on the back to Texas Ranger Family Getaway, Post Office Box 2000848, Arlington, Texas. The zip code 76006-0848. We go bottom 2, scoreless game. Here's Merle Harmon.
All right, Norman Ruben Sierra, the switch hitting right fielder, leads off and takes a strike from Bob Welch. Sierra, with 87 runs batted in, leads the American League in that department. He has 21 homers, hitting at 309. He has been amongst the leaders in the offensive categories in the American League throughout the year. Time is called as Welch did not come through with the delivery. Took a bit of a hop, skip, and jump and held on to the ball out of the mound. Nice footwork there, Bob. No balls, a strike. Franco to follow, and then Palmeiro will be up. High fastball running. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sierra. Ruben has been in a bit of a slump. He's had 7 hits his last 35 times up. And his batting average has skidded a bit from 327 to 309, but he is still 9th in the American League in hitting. Welch off speed is outside. Ball 2, strike 1.
Bob Welch was originally drafted by the Cubs out of high school in Michigan, Hazel Park High. Chose to go to Eastern Michigan instead, where he was an All-American and a 2-time All-Mid-American Conference pitcher.
Breaking ball.
Tell you what, Eastern Michigan's not known for its baseball. But when that team had the doubleheader pitching combination of Bob Welch and Bob Ochinko, I bet you Eastern Michigan won a few baseball games.
They won a lot of games.
Ochinko was a very, very good pitcher and spent a few years in the major leagues.
Driven to left field, but slicing foul and back into the stands, and someone has a souvenir of this memorable night. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll do a check on the other games for you as the evening goes on. This is the first of 3 with the Oakland A's. Tomorrow night, Dave Stewart, a 16-game winner, toes the mound, the rubber for Oakland against Kevin Brown, who's 11-7 for the Rangers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on or out. We're in the last half of the second and no score. If you just joined us, we are in the bottom of the second. The A's, in their first 2 innings, have had 1 hit, and Ryan has struck out 3. 2-2 to Sierra. 3-2.
Welch came to the A's in that big trade, three-cornered with the Mets involved. Oakland got Welch and Matt Young, who's an active pitcher with this team. The Dodgers got Jesse Orosco from the Mets and Alfredo Griffin and Jay Howell from the A's. The Mets got prospects Wally Whitehurst, Kevin Tepani, and Jack Savage.
Look out, guys. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Normally you see a white flag come out from somewhere, or a white towel anyway. You know, we were talking earlier about Bobby Valentine and his approach to this game this evening and the importance of the game, the importance of winning it. 3-2 pitch, driven to center field, little pop out there. It's going to be taken by Dave Henderson, and 1 out. And you could almost see it in his face that he would be glad when Nolan rings up K number 5, and then total concentration can be given to the game. Western standings.
This is the way it looks coming in tonight. Oakland and California even in the loss column. The Rangers 9.5 out, but only 8 in the loss column, with 3 coming up with Oakland, followed by 3 with California, and California playing in Kansas City tonight with a Royals lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second.
Julio Franco is next, the second baseman. Right through there. Julio has had 3 hits in his last 20 times up. His bat's been a bit cold also. 13 homers, 85 runs batted in. Batting at .308.
Boy, Julio's had good success against Welch, though, in the 2 years Welch has been in this league.
He knocks him down with a base hit to center. A bullet. Ooh, what a shot. No balls, rather on an 0-1 pitch. He lined a bullet back through the middle.
Franco's now a .500 hitter against Bob Welch. There are your scores. Kansas City with Gubiza on the mound tonight leads California 1-0. Chicago King over Raleigh 2-1. Seattle 2-1 over Seattle. Or Cleveland 2-1 over Seattle. That is Farrell over Bankhead. Milwaukee and Baltimore being held up by rain.
Palmeiro taking a strike down around the knees.
Boston leads the Yankees 2-1. That's Gardner against Cadaret. And Toronto behind that impressive young Todd Stottlemyre leads Detroit and Bill Dubois 1-0 in the 6th.
There goes a runner from first, and the ball is fouled back by Palmeiro. Boy, Franco really had a jump on Bob Welch. So we'll do it again. You know, we look at some cool bats in that Ranger lineup, but Palmeiro's is not one of them anymore. The last homestand, he was really struggling, but he's been hitting the ball pretty good, along with Buechele and Baines. So they're carrying the hot bats right now. Palmeiro has hit .364 in his last 5 games. No balls, 2 strikes, no score. Strike 3. So Welch rings 1 up. Now, how far back is he now?
Welch is now, well, he's lost 1 this inning. He's now 3,451 behind Ryan and losing ground.
Dave Duncan has developed this pitching chart. He has been regarded as one of the outstanding pitching coaches.
That little skeet pattern that you saw was literally a spray pattern to chart where hitters hit the ball off certain pitchers and on certain pitches from certain pitchers. Welch, I think, understands that while Franco doesn't run an awful lot, he's a quality base stealer, and this is a situation Franco would be very, very likely to run in.
Cavilla, a little popper out to short, and back goes Weiss to backhand it for the out. You know, I think that was Rene Latchman who was working that book, though, a moment ago. And so the second inning comes to an end. No runs, a hit. At the end of 2 complete, it's Oakland 0, Rangers 0. Home Sports Entertainment bringing you this exciting evening of baseball from Arlington, Texas.
Ryan 3 short of 5,000 in the 3rd inning. Here's your American League briefs today. The Chicago White Sox have recalled former Ranger outfielder Sammy Sosa from AAA. Cleveland places Scott Bales on the 21-day disabled list with a sore shoulder. The Yankees also have been told that Dave LaPointe's arthroscopic shoulder surgery is probably going to idle him the rest of the season. We go top of the third. Ryan needs 3. He could get him this inning. Here's Merle Harmon.
And Walt Weiss will lead off, the shortstop, hitting a .222, and he goes after a fastball and nails it down the right field line. He'll head for second as Sierra cuts the ball over the corner, and it's a leadoff double for Walt Weiss. The second 2-base hit of the game for the Oakland A's, and the second leadoff double. Henderson had accomplished that in the first inning to start the game. Weiss, who had missed much of the season till now with an injury, and he jumps on this pitch.
Rips it down the right field line. You know, Walter Weiss, a skinny little shortstop, Merle, but the scouts will tell you he's a dead pull hitter.
So he is at second for Ricky Henderson, who doubled in the first inning. Ricky came into the game hitting a .285. Nobody out. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes.
As Ryan pursues 5,000, a kid named Marcus Grissom got his first base hit tonight for Montreal. Remember that name, a highly touted youngster in the Expo system.
1 ball, no strikes to Henderson. In his second tour with the Oakland A's, in between, of course, with the Yankees. And it's a ball and a strike. Nolan Ryan has won 287 games in his major league career. He was in the National League for 13 years and a couple of days and won 135. In the American League over 9 years, and including this season, 152 wins. 2 balls a strike.
Nolan Ryan's first strikeout. Pat Jarvis is 1,000th an Oakland A. Sal Bando.
2 balls and a strike, no score. We're in the top of the third here in Arlington. Merle Harmon and Norm Hitzges with you. Upstairs, 3-1 to Henderson. Nolan Ryan spent 4 years with the Mets and a couple of games. 8 years with the Angels, 9 years with the Astros, and of course this being his initial year with the Rangers. 3 balls a strike. Foul out of play, third base side, full count coming up. Oh, this is a pretty good Tuesday night crowd, you know. Normally we don't have this kind of a crowd on a Tuesday night.
But as they say at the theaters, we got a pretty good attraction tonight.
3-2 to Ricky Henderson. A runner at second, Walt Weiss, who doubled. That's a little indicator there you see in our graphics. The little red dot shows you the base runner. $4,998. Well, Nolan Ryan has really put some numbers up this year, and I'm not just talking about in his own record book. He has started a craze here of putting up the Ks. They've got these sections all over the place in the outfield that register each strikeout. Ryan to Henderson.
Blew it right by him. Ball by him in the strike zone. Bat in the strike zone and ball in the strike zone occurred at 2 different times.
Here is Carney Lansford, who just took a pitch for a ball, 1-0. Carney grounded out of the first inning. He brings a 17-game hitting streak into this ball game tonight, the longest hitting streak by any Oakland A this year. Little blooper down the right field line, could be some trouble. It is, and the runner at second, Weiss, had to hold to see if the ball would be caught or not. So he winds up at third, and Lansford gets a single out of it.
And for the second time in this game, Jose Canseco is going to bat with a man at third and 1 out. In the first inning, Canseco struck out in this situation, and the A's did not produce a run. By the way, when Ryan struck out Canseco in the first inning, it was the 43rd former MVP that Ryan has struck out in his fabulous career.
Quick, give me the other 42. I'll give you 5 seconds.
All
Never
right.
mind, never mind, never mind.
I need a little more than 5 seconds.
Canseco hitting a .258 coming into the game. This has been an abbreviated season for him, as you know. And this is going to put the A's into the lead as Canseco lines a single to left. And Weiss comes on to score. Holding at second will be Carney Lansford as Canseco drives in his 22nd run of the year.
Catcher Ron Hesse.
So the A's get their 4th hit, and this is good for a run. Canseco showing his muscle there. As he simply muscled that ball into left field. Ron Hesse now, the catcher.
Now you got to look out for the A's in this situation. Be very careful about Lansford and Canseco as a base running pair, because Lansford has much better speed than you think he does.
Nice block by Kruder.
Lansford's already stolen 26 bases this season. And you never think of Carney Lansford as one of the premier base thieves in this league.
No, but he's a good, you said this before, and you reiterate that. He's a good base, he's a smart base runner.
Very, very smart. And also gets into high gear very quickly.
1 ball to no strikes. Breaking ball, that's good. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 in, 2 on. A's 1, Rangers nothing. Top of the 3rd. Ron Hesse, 5 homers, 22 runs batted in, coming into this one tonight. One pitch. Foul ball.
As we get nearer and nearer 5,000 here, Kevin Mitchell has hit his 40th homer of the season. The first Giants player since 1969, when Stretch McCovey hit 45 to top the 40 homer mark. And the Giants are banging around the Mets tonight, 4-0 in New York, while the Pirates are leading Houston by the same score.
2 on, 1 in for Oakland. And it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Hesse. Breaking ball, fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
As we sit at this point, Merle, let me ask you something. Would you want to hit after Ryan's gotten 4.999? Would you like that situation?
No, not especially. I wouldn't like to be up there.
I don't think I'd mind it. I figure if I don't strike out, I fight him off. And if I do strike out, as Tony Phillips and Mark McGuire said, I'm assured someplace in history.
Well, maybe you're right. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I don't want to be 4.999, though.
Fastball, 4.999. Now, this is just 4,999. What do you think it's going to be like when he gets 5,000? The commissioner and the managing general partner, George W. Bush, down by the dugout of the Rangers.
When we get to 2 strikes in this count, if we should reach that point, Merle and I are just going to sit back and we'll turn into fans, just like y'all.
You betcha. Dave Henderson is up. You know, Nolan has said he does not want the game stopped if and when he gets the 5,000 strikeout. The ideal thing would be for him to get it on a 3rd out. Bouncer to 3rd, we'll have to wait an inning. Bouchel to 1st, and that'll do it. So Ryan getting another standing ovation as he has now struck out 4,999, but he takes a 1-run deficit into the bottom of the 3rd, and stick around, we'll see if the Rangers can do something about that when they come to bat. We'll be right back. The Rangers come to bat at the bottom of the third, trailing Bob Welch and the A's 1-0 as Steve Buechele takes a slider, it appeared, over the outside corner, and it snowballs on a strike. Buechele hitting at .250 with 13 homers and 53 runs batted in. He's had a pretty hot bat as of late. Big series in Chicago for him when the Rangers won 3 out of 4 over the weekend. Buechele in the last 6 games has hit .444, 8 for 18.
And his season numbers are starting to look awfully respectable at 13 homers and 53 runs batted in. Merle, if you project them over one more quarter of play, you get a Steve Buechele with 17 homers and into the 70s in RBIs, and with his glove, that's a very solid major league player.
That would do it. Buechele to be followed by Kruder and then Espy. Bob Welch has given up 2 hits, a single to Manrique in the first and Franco's base hit in the second. This ball charged by Weiss. This slip fielding shortstop of the A's makes the play. Boy, that kid has got a glove and an arm. Rookie of the year ago.
Weiss on the dead run really sets himself, and in the midst of it all tries to keep his hat on. That's the only thing he didn't do during that play.
Dropped the ball and grabbed the hat, Walt. Chad Kruder is next. Chad with 3 homers and 7 RBIs and 148, and he has started to hit the ball much better since he quit switch hitting. He's doing okay as a right-handed batter against right-handed pitching.
Well, Merle, he's only 7 for 36, and that's still under 200. But you know what leaps out at you, Merle? He's drawn 10 walks. His on-base percentage as a right-handed hitter since he dropped switch hitting is almost 400. That's fabulous.
And he's making better contact. He gets a fastball and a breaking ball and looks at both of them, and they cost him. No balls, 2 strikes. Kruder has had 5 hits in his last 20 times up. And he goes after that curveball and bangs it on the ground. Nice play by Lansford. Now he eats it because as he looked to first, Kruder has better speed, I think, than Lansford had anticipated. And Carney, being the veteran that he is, just said, hey, I'll eat that one.
Center fielder Cecil Espy.
So a slug bunt, if you will. Little chopper to third. And Kruder is on with the base hit and will go to the top of the order for Cecil Espy. Espy lined out of the first inning. That's hit number 3, by the way, that single by Kruder. Espy, switch hitter, batting left-handed, of course, in this situation, taking a strike at the knees. Lansford is playing up close to third, just in case. 1 out. If Espy were to bunt, of course, he wouldn't be bunting for a sacrifice. He'd be bunting for a base hit.
Got a big drag area open with the first baseman holding on Kruder. The drag area is even larger than usual.
Held back, and the pitch was outside. So Lansford will play up near the cut of the grass. And the shortstop, Weiss, and the second baseman, Phillips, are at double play depth. They're in a couple of steps. McGuire guarding the bag at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. A reminder for Chad Kruder. The A's lead 1-0. We're in the bottom of the third. If you have joined us late, Ryan has 4,999 strikeouts, so you have not missed it. 1-2. But I would suggest that you don't go to the refrigerator in the next inning.
I would suggest this is not a good time to go to the 7-Eleven. I agree with you.
1 ball and 2 strikes. We don't have anything against 7-Eleven.
No, go anytime you want,
yeah.
except in the next 10 minutes.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's even at 2-2.
Welch is a 3-pitch pitcher. He used to be just a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and curve, but he's now developed a pretty nice forkball, and he mixes the 3. He's got a good riding fastball, a good curveball that he'll use to backdoor left-hand hitters. Espy's got to be very careful about Welch backdooring him with the breaking ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kruder, the base runner. Welch keeping him close. The outfield is very shallow for Cecil Espy. As you can see the spacing, there's a big gap in right center and a huge area along the right field line if SB could pull Welch. High fastball, 3-2. This presents an interesting situation here.
It does for Bobby Valentine. Kruder does not have a steal, has not even attempted one this year.
SB reading the signs by Dave Oliver, the third base coach. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner going, 3-2, fouled off, third base side, back out of play. So Bobby Valentine showing the confidence in Cecil Espy that he can make contact by sending the runner. It's pizza time. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oliver works the signs again. Kruder the base runner with 1 out, and the Rangers trail by a run. Kruder going, 3-2 pitch, struck him out, and out at second. Double play. So Kruder running on the 3-2 pitch, and SB missed it. So we will now go to the 4th, and the A's lead it 1-0. We are going to the top of the 4th inning, and the crowd, I think, is going to stand throughout the inning, anticipating that sometime here Ryan is going to get number 5,000. Mark McGuire batted in the 2nd and walked. Oakland leading 1-0. 1-0 to McGuire. Tony Phillips to follow, and then Terry Steinbach will be up. Some of the fans are still standing. In fact, most of them are standing. 1-1.
You know, the funny thing, we had a contest on the radio show today, and I picked Mark McGuire in the 4th inning.
Yes, you did. I'll vouch for that because I heard it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Remember now, McGuire said he wouldn't mind being number 5,000.
Not this time, though. Espy back in center field, 1 out. That'll bring up Tony Phillips.
Second baseman, Tony Phillips.
So Nolan Ryan, trailing 1-0, has recorded 4 strikeouts in this game. I beg your pardon, 5. And 1 to go. He got his 4,999th against Hasse as Phillips takes the ball at a check swing.
Phillips strikes out once every 6.5 times. He's about in the middle range as far as easiest to hardest to strike out of the A's.
One ball, no strikes. Right down to Palmeiro. 2 gone.
You know, if you're wondering, is Ryan getting frustrated? The answer is no. With Nolan Ryan, the game is still the thing.
Oh, yeah. All he wants to do is win.
That's all he wants to do tonight is win. Numbers happen because you continue to play the game.
And there's no doubt about it. I mean, you know, you go back some of the other records that were set, and of course every time Ryan strikes out anybody, he sets a new record. He breaks his own record. Breaking ball, check swing, no swing. Nothing. 1-0 to Terry Steinbach. But you know, you think of Maris in that last game, 1961. Could he hit the 61st homer? Yes. Of course, you knew that Aaron was going to break Ruth's record eventually. 1-1. When Nolan Ryan rings up the next strikeout. $67,500 will by then be awarded to the Little League program. 2 balls to strike. Best Western and American Express are making the financial consideration available on behalf of Nolan Ryan to the Little League program. 3 balls and a strike to Steinbach. We're in the 4th. The A's lead 1-0. 3-2. 2 down. $4,999 strikeouts for Ryan. We'll do it again. 3-2 to Steinbach. One run, 4 hits for the A's. No runs, 3 hits for the Rangers. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Steinbach. 2 down in the 4th.
This crowd, it's like it's at Six Flags. It's like you've got 41,000 people on the world's largest roller coaster. They come to the top of the hill and they go down. And they get to the top of the hill and they go down. Everybody here's perched on this historic moment.
Nobody is sitting. Everybody is standing. 3-2 to Steinbach. Walking. It will not be Steinbach, at least not right now.
Everybody in this place literally on pins and needles, including the owner and son of the president and the commissioner. Ooh.
Boy.
The
tension mounts.
There was far less tension on election night.
Well, that's understandable. that was a waltz. Here's Weiss. Strike 1. Weiss doubled and scored the only run of the game in the 3rd inning. One to nothing, Oakland. 1-1.
Oh, just a note about the guy behind home plate. He's under a lot of pressure here too, Larry Young. Even though it's a historic night for him, he doesn't want to mess up and miss calls.
I'll tell you one call he doesn't want to make, a called 3rd strike. He wants it to be a swinging strike. Up high, 2-1.
Be careful here now. Steinbach doesn't run much, but once in a while he'll take off, and with Weiss ahead in the count and Ryan really fixing in on the hitter, this might be a situation they'd send Steinbach.
So Terry's at first with 2 down at the top of the 4th. Weiss, a pretty good contact hitter. Check swing, 2-2. For every strikeout that Ryan records this year, $300 go to the Little League program. Best Western and American Express. And when 5,000 comes, and it may come within a few seconds or maybe the next inning or whenever, as we mentioned before, $67,500 so far this year would go to the Little League program. 2-2, 2 down, runner at first. 1-0 Oakland. Missed with a backdoor breaking ball.
Merle, we missed a bet. We should have been selling film and flash bulbs outside the stadium tonight.
3-2 pitch coming. Hit up the middle of the shortstop, Manrique. And we go on then to the 5th inning, seeking strikeout number 5,000. And we move on now to the bottom of the 4th with the middle of the order coming up for the Rangers. Oakland 1, Rangers nothing. One more, she says. One more. Nolan Ryan, 4,999 strikeouts. 5 tonight. Fred Manrique will lead off against Bob Welch in the bottom of the 4th. Welch has given up no runs and 3 hits. Manrique has 1 of the 3. Single in the 1st. Little popper outside at 3rd. Lansford chases it near the dugout, but runs out of room. Not a whole lot of room between the foul lines and the stands here at Arlington Stadium. But that's one of the great things about this ballpark. It's a very intimate ballpark, and the fans, they feel like they're in the game. They're not seated miles away from it. Weiss, second hop. Dug out by McGuire, 1 away.
Bet you Bobby Valentine would just as soon see Nolan Ryan get it over with, because as we've said, this Ranger team has in the past tended to become spectators in certain situations. And right now they may want to get it over with. They may be getting up there saying, well, let's hurry, let's get it over, let's get Nolan back out to the mound. And the game can at times become secondary here.
Well, I think he was feeling that prior to the game this evening during batting practice. Baines up there now, taking a ball low and away. Baines popped to right field in the 1st inning. Fastball running over the outside corner. I'm not sure Baines thought it was in the strike zone. They play the alleys on Harold, as you see, and the center fielder Dave Henderson is reasonably shallow in center field and straight away. Off speed, 1 and 2.
Welch's reputation, though, Merle, is he'll get you to hit the ball up the middle, and that's how they play a lot of the hitters here. They bunch the alleys, and they feel if you can rip him, either pull him or slash the ball the other way, you get rewarded for it. But that's a tough chore against this guy.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1-0 Oakland, bottom of the 4th. Boy, I can just visualize the tenseness in many living rooms as we await that big number. Strike called.
Let's go to your National League briefs as the Rangers now have 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Moves in the National League today.
Right fielder, Ruben Sierra.
Chicago sends Paul Kilgus and Jeff Pico to the minor leagues. They recall Joe Kramer, who was the starter today in their 7-2 loss to Cincinnati, and Dean Wilkins from AAA.
Here is Sierra with 2 down. Ruben flied to center in the 2nd inning. Now, if you think a pressure cooker is Arlington Stadium, it's in many restaurants and clubs and wherever television sets are turned on to HSE. Sure is fun, isn't it, gang? And a ball low and outside. 1 ball and no strike.
We'll try to get you, if this inning continues, some National League scores if Sierra is able to continue the inning.
Welch is getting that corner.
Well, Larry Young says he is. I think Ruben would argue.
1 ball and 1 strike. 1 and 2.
Tough pitch. Here's Bob Welch at his very best. Bob Welch, when he gets ahead, then will not throw you strikes. He'll nibble, he'll paint, he'll fiddle, he'll forkball, he'll breaking ball. Like that.
And he gets Ruben. And Ruben is angry at himself. So that's 4 strikeouts for Bob Welch as he heads for the dugout with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back for the top of the 5th in just a moment. Ricky Henderson leading off at the top of the 5th. The A's 1 of the Rangers 0. Henderson a double and a strikeout. Another one. Henderson was victim number 4,998. For the first 4 innings, Ryan threw 66 pitches on our count, 39 strikes, 27 balls. Nothing in 1 to Henderson, to be followed by Lansford and Canseco.
Again, at 2 strikes, we'll just back out and watch the scene with you.
Yes. 0-2. Two strikes. The A's got the run in the 3rd. We are now in inning number 5. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ricky Henderson.
Henderson is never going to be more fooled. His head headed to the Ranger dugout, his buttocks headed to the Oakland dugout, and the rest of him didn't know which way to go.
The flash bulbs continue to pop on every pitch now. Two and two.
We just received in the truck a call from John Watson, the Kansas City manager. His game's in rain delay. He wanted the satellite coordinates so he could dial up the game in the Kansas City locker room. Welcome to our telecast.
Two strikes. At 8:51 p.m. Texas time, Nolan Ryan gets number 5,000. And Sierra misjudged that ball hit by Lansford into short right center field. So Carney is on with a base hit as we resume action here with 1 out. Ricky Henderson will be in the record books as strikeout number 5,000. And you deserve another look. Ricky, you just made history. Now back to the live action with Canseco. who has struck out and singled tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. You know, Nolan Ryan did not want the game stopped. You saw his teammates come in, all of them from the outfield. Chad Kruger led the charge to the mound to congratulate him. The infielders came in, the outfielders came in, and this pitch a bit high to Canseco. It's 2-0. Nolan was ready to continue, but Carney Lansford would not get into the batter's box. You talk about respect for a fellow competitor, and in this case, for tonight, the man on the mound is your enemy. Lansford gave the fans an appropriate opportunity by staying out of the batter's box to relish the moment that they will never see again. They'll never see another pitcher strike out 5,000. Not if they live to be 100, and if they were only 3 years old right now, or 1, or whatever. It's over, Norm.
We may live to see him strike out 6,000 though, Merle.
Oh yes. Canseco, 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, 1 on. Nolan missing outside. Who will be 5,001, if you will? McMurtry is in the bullpen doing some throwing. I don't know if he's getting some work in or what, but
no, it's a little early for Craig to be getting work in. I think that's serious warm-up.
3-2.
Well, let's start another pool. Who'll be 5,001?
Three and 2. Three, 2. Pop chased by Palmeiro. This is the way George W. Bush reacted on strikeout number 5,000.
Come on, Commissioner, clap.
They had clocked the pitches on Ryan. I believe they reported the strikeout pitch on Henderson was 96 miles an hour. He was consistently at 95 on his first 3 or 4 pitches. It was the 71st pitch of the game. The strikeout pitch to Ricky Henderson. Right now, 3-2 to Canseco, who drove a single to left field in the 3rd inning to get Weiss home with a run. And he sends one high in the air to center field. And it is caught. Oh, almost caught off the glove, apparently, of Espy. And the runner at 3rd is being waved home. The throw on the way to the plate. They should get him safe. They didn't. So Lansford scores on a double off the center field wall by Canseco.
I don't know what happened to that ball. Espy seemed to be in position. It'll be interesting to see the replay of exactly where the ball hit. Espy goes right to the base of the wall, checks, and drops the ball. Seemed to have it under control.
Looked like he had the glove against the wall. It's going to be an error and no RBI. It's going to be a 2-base error on Cecil Espy. Bobby Valentine to the mound to talk to his battery. So no RBI. I think this message was supposed to go up in the air somewhere. Where it would come down, no one would know. So it is an error on Espy in center field. The 2nd run is in. You know, it was a good slide, but we talked about Lansford being a good base runner. He went to the outside of the plate. It looked like they were going to get him.
Ball looked like it beat Lansford to the plate.
Yep.
But again, he slid away from Kruger. It wasn't Kruger's fault. Kruger did as well as he could receiving the ball.
Good relay by Manrique. Hasse goes after that one, missing. Hasse is grounded out and struck out.
One more.
He was 4,999. So it's 2-0 Oakland. We're in the top of the 5th.
I'd rather be Henderson than Hasse. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside corner. Larry Young, the plate umpire, is consistent on that one.
Got to be very, very careful here if you're Ryan, because your adrenaline rush was to 5,000. It was to 5,000. The whole focus of this game, even as much as you try to make a game of it instead of a record, was 5,000. And there's an obvious possibility of a little bit of a letdown here, Merle.
And that ball is fouled off on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think that would especially be true with a younger pitcher. But a younger pitcher is not going to have 5,000 strikeouts either. But Ryan, you know, having gone into the 9th inning with no hitters as he has this year.
Well, we've seen him sometimes when the no-hitter's broken, have a lull for a couple of hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul ball. 2 runs, 5 hits for the A's. No runs, 3 hits for the Rangers.
Merle, it's happening with the crowd, too. I've never heard 42,000 people quieter. Listen to this place.
You're right.
There's about 4 people saying, send a beer down here, give me a peanuts, and you can hear all of them.
Well, you can understand why nobody was going to leave their seats until they saw number 5,000.
Everybody's adrenaline flow is stopped. It makes it a dangerous situation for the Rangers.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 5,001.
Hasse's the one before and the one after. By the way, that sets the all-time Ranger record for strikeouts in a season, 226. This telecast is authorized under rights granted to Home Sports Entertainment and is intended solely for the non-commercial use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Home Sports Entertainment is prohibited. Announcers for this telecast are selected and employed by Home Sports Entertainment.
Henderson behind now, no balls to strike. Dave Henderson struck out in the 2nd. He was 4,996. A little bit low. Boy, it's nice to have a young fella from Port Charlotte. That's the spring training base of the Rangers. Jeff Haas here tonight. Remember, he was here last year and worked with the clubhouse gang when he was on his vacation. He's here again tonight, seeing history made. Ooh, look at that breaking ball explode. 1-2. Would you believe that not very many major league clubs were interested in Nolan Ryan in high school? And not many colleges either. But one scout with the New York Mets saw something in him. Red Murph. Low and away. I'm not sure if Red is here tonight. We were looking for him earlier this evening. And some of the other scouts who were here were almost certain that he would be here. He lives over in East Texas, I believe.
I'll bet you Red's managing to find a way to watch the telecast anyway.
I would think so. If he is not here, I'm sure he's looking in. You found a gem, Red. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 Oakland. We're in the top of the 5th. In fact, Nolan Ryan had such a difficult time early in his career. He had given some thought to packing it in and going back to Alvin and working in the refineries.
5,001 hitters wish he had.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Is he a national treasure or not? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Ryan, I think he's a little bit upset that Dave Henderson keeps backing out up there. Here's Henderson again asking for time.
It's a key run that the Rangers must freeze at second. Welch seems to have very good stuff. And with Oakland's good bullpen, you don't want to be down 3 to this club.
Breaking ball, check swing, no swing. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. Dave Henderson, a strikeout and a ground out. Strike 3. So Ryan, with 5,000 strikeouts in this inning, fans the side. He got the leadoff man for number 5,000. He gets Hasse and he gets Henderson. And it's 2-0 Oakland, and we'll be back in a moment.
Congratulations, Nolan Ryan. What an amazing accomplishment. Indeed, everybody that loves baseball pays tribute to you on this very special record. My friend, well done, my noble friend.
Julio Franco is leading off in the bottom of the 5th inning. He singled in the 2nd. He'll be followed by Palmeiro and then Pete Incaviglia. Bob Welch and the Oakland A's have a 2-0 lead. And a strike of the knees to Franco, who came into the game hitting .308 with 13 home runs and 85 runs batted in.
Now maybe the Rangers, with 5,000 out of the way, will be a little more focused at the plate.
Over the middle and into center. So Franco is 2 for 2 tonight, and that's hit number 4 for Texas.
A kind of triple dose of bad news tonight for the Houston Astros. Obviously, they miss Nolan Ryan, who strikes out his 5,000th here. Number 2, they're beaten in Pittsburgh 4-1 by the Pirates. Number 3, the Giants are shutting out the Mets 4-0, and guess who's pitching for the Giants? Bob Knepper, released by the Astros and about to win a key game for the Giants to increase their lead over Houston.
Palmeiro at the plate. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Franco is the base runner. And it's up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Incaviglia to follow. Palmeiro with 8 homers and 59 runs batted in. Runner going from first, and it's fouled off as Bobby Valentine puts some motion into the game, trying to get something started here against Welch and the A's in the bottom of the 5th. One ball and 1 strike. Popper foul off on the 3rd base side. 1-2 the count. If you just joined us, we are in the bottom of the 5th. In the top of this inning, the leadoff man, Ricky Henderson, became the 5,000th victim of Nolan Ryan. Then the A's got an unearned run, and Ryan came back to fan Hasse and Henderson and thereby struck out the side. And Palmeiro has just fanned for the 2nd time in the game.
Merle, the formula is the same, isn't it? Get ahead and then throw the fork ball down in the strike zone. It's fairly easy for Messieurs Hitzges and Harmon to say it up here. Problem is, when you step in the batter's box with the wood in your hand, it's tough to fight it off.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult. Maybe a 2x6 or a 2x8 would help.
Bodor, get a piece of it.
Pete Incaviglia popped up to center field in the 2nd inning. One swing of the bat by this guy could get things going, but not that way. No balls to strike. One down, 1 on. Wherever you might be watching this evening, We're delighted to have you joining us from Arlington, Texas. Runner going, throwing away to second, stolen base. As Julio Franco gets down there in scoring position, it's no balls, 2 strikes to Incaviglia. And for the Rangers, their 82nd stolen base of the year.
Well, look at the percentage on Franco. 16 of 19 now.
Not too shabby, huh? 2 strikes to Incaviglia with 1 out. He laid off that high tight pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, if Welch reverts to form, here comes the forkball. But he may want to pitch Incaviglia up.
He did, high and tight. That's strikeout number 6 for Bob Welch. Incaviglia will be succeeded by Steve Buechele.
Well, there's a whole bunch of breeze in this stadium tonight. There's a lot of people striking out in this game.
Well, 3 strikeouts in the 5th inning by Ryan, 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning by Welch. He also had 2 strikeouts in the 4th inning. Welch did.
Well, we've had 29 outs in this game, and 14 of them are strikeouts.
Two down. Franco at second. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The A's scored in the 3rd inning. Weiss led over the double. Henderson struck out. Lansford singled, and Canseco singled the run home. Low and away to Buechele, 1-0. In the 5th, after Henderson struck out for number 5,000, Lansford singled to right field. Canseco hit a ball off the glove of Espy against the center field wall for a 2-base error for Espy, and Lansford scored and slid home to the outside on a very close play at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 down. Now we'll have a little conference with the battery. But don't go away. We've got a ball game on our hands. Welch and Ryan battling. Bottom of the 5th. 2 runs, 5 hits for Tony La Russa's Oakland A's. No runs and 4 hits for Bobby V's Texas Rangers.
What the substance of this conversation could be is the signals with a runner at second. Realize Welch hasn't had that problem through the first 4 innings.
True. Franco is the first man to reach second. 2 balls, no strikes. Ooh, nice job by Buechele laying off that breaking ball off the outside edge. It is 3-0. Got to kind of feel that the green light is on for Buechele here. He does have power to reach the seats. He's done it 13 times this year. He took it. 3-1. Many times the light will be on him 3-0, but it's up to the hitter. If he gets a pitch that he's looking for in his hitting zone, then it's okay. Strike 2, and Steve thought he had a walk. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
In Atlanta tonight, St. Louis Ted Power. Remember, that's a guy released by the Tigers in preseason. Took a no-hitter into the bottom of the 8th. Tommy Gregg, the first baseman, broke it up with a 2-run homer. But Power's coasting ahead 10-2 as the Cardinals are going to pick up another game. That's it.
That'll do it. Buechele called out, so Ryan fans aside in the 5th. Welch fans aside in the 5th.
That's 5 in a row struck out by Bob Welch.
We'll move on now to inning number 6, 2-0 Oakland. Nolan Ryan going for 5,000. Another day at the office. Pretty cool, I'd say. And his teammates coming in to congratulate him from the infield to the outfield. And look at Nolan now. Of course, he's got a visit from Incaviglia and SP and Sierra. Now it's okay, let's get on with it.
As Nolan came out to warm up this inning, they played the president's message that we showed you last inning. Nolan did stop and watch the president on the center field board, and he got one more rousing ovation.
Now he faces Mark McGuire leading off in the 6th. Strike one.
You fans who correctly picked tonight as the night Nolan Ryan would get the strikeout number 5,000. The grand prize winner in the Mazda Countdown to Glory contest will be selected by drawing from all correct entries, and that winner will be notified by HSE. There is no need to call HSE. If you're selected, you'll be contacted.
A ball and a strike to McGuire, who has walked and flied to center. 23 homers, 74 runs batted in. 1-2. Through 5 innings, Ryan, on our count, 95 pitches, 57 strikes. For Bob Welch, 62 pitches, 47 strikes. One and two. Rack up another one.
Merle, the last 9 outs in this game have been by strikeout. 5 for Welch, 4 for Ryan. Here's tonight's trivia quiz brought to you by Merle Harmon's Fanfare. Other than Rafael Palmeiro, the starting first baseman tonight, name 3 current Rangers that Nolan Ryan has struck out. And these are current Ranger players. Toby Harrah, Dave Lopes, Tom Grieve don't count. The number 817-277-0779 or 277-0004. First correct caller gets a gift certificate from Merle Harmon's Fanfare, the sports fans gift shop.
Tony Phillips, no balls, a strike. Ryan has thrown 100 pitches. Breaking ball over. A little bit off speed stuff. Boy, this is, well, we mentioned earlier in the telecast, this is the first time that Ryan has faced Oakland this year. The first time since coming back to the American League, obviously. And the one thing that he brought with him that even those around in his previous American League duty with the California Angels, one thing they did not see, they saw that, a blazing fastball. One thing they didn't see was the changeup.
The circle change. The last 10 outs in this game now have all been strikeouts. Henderson, Hasse, and Henderson, McGuire and Phillips for the A's, Baines, Sierra, Palmeiro, Incaviglia, and Buechele for the Rangers.
10 strikeouts for Ryan.
She better hurry that 4 up there before it's a 5.
Terry Steinbach, 1 ball, no strikes.
When you're keeping count of Nolan Ryan's fastballs, you got to be quick.
Oh boy.
You dilly-dally, you get 1 or 2 behind.
Well, that man has matched Ryan pretty much pitch for pitch.
Well, and Merle, he's 2 of Nolan Ryan's 5,004. Nolan got him twice in the National League. Bob Welch.
1 ball and a strike. Up high for a ball. Bob Welch has struck out 7. And this is the message that his teammates gave him. This sign posted in the dugout. You know, they had the big sign, Ryan goes for number 5,000. Well, the sign for Bob Welch, he goes for number 14 in the victory column.
Problem you have if you're the Rangers now, the game has wandered into the 6th inning. With the incredible bullpen that Oakland has, you got to start chipping away here because they're so deep and so talented down there. This is an incredibly difficult team to beat in the late innings.
Steinbach looking at one that could have gotten him punched out. Bobby V. The last time that Ryan, as this ball is fouled away, faced Oakland was July 5th, 1979, and he lost to them 3-0. That's when he was with California. The previous meeting with them, when he was with the Angels, he beat them. Or rather, when he was with the Angels, he beat Oakland.
He's a losing pitcher in his career against Oakland, though. 10-13.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Payoff pitch. There's another one. That's number 11 in this game.
The 194th time in his career, Ryan has struck out 10 or more.
And he has struck out 5 in a row now as he leaves for the dugout, trailing 2-0, and we'll be back.
Texas Ranger Baseball is brought to you by Long John Silver's, America's favorite seafood shop, now celebrating their 20th anniversary. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and while Nolan Ryan's gotten his 5,000th, in fact, he's well past it. He's got 11 tonight. The Rangers don't have anything off Bob Welch. Ryan has made the last 6 outs in the game strikeouts. Welch has struck out the last 5 he's faced. And the Rangers will dip into their bench to start the 6th. Here's Merle Harmon.
And Gino Petralli, who was activated from the DL on Saturday, is leading off. 4 homers, 18 RBIs, hitting at .312. He is batting for Chad Kruger, and we're assuming he will stay in the game and catch as Bob Welch gets the first pitch over. Welch has struck out 3 in a row, and a ball down low. 1-1. The last 5 outs that he has recorded have been strikeouts. In between was Franco's leadoff single in the 5th, and he proceeded to fan the next 3 men. Breaking ball, 1-2.
Look out. Here's that pattern again from Welch. Get ahead and then ask the hitter to either fish off the outside corner with the forkball or the breaking ball. Forkball.
And he misses with it. 2-2. Petralli had been on the disabled list since June 27th with a left knee injury. Boy, he was red hot when he won the DL.
That's it.
So Petralli is gone to start the bottom of the 6th, and Welch has now fanned 4 in a row. And 8 in the game.
And Merle, this incredible streak continues. The last 12 outs in this game are all strikeouts. I have never seen a streak like this in my life. Have you?
Well, a moment ago we were talking about Welch and Ryan matching each other almost pitch for pitch. That's what they're doing. Here's Espy, and a strike at the knee. Cecil is lined out and struck out. The outfield very shallow for him. As he fouls this one off, he got fisted. No balls, 2 strikes.
See right here, Welch is in such a fantastic rhythm. You got to step out. You got to wander around a little bit. You got to make him stand around and think a little bit, because right now Welch is in a remarkable groove in this game.
No balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 Oakland. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Arlington. Hit to the second baseman. Phillips makes the play, and they're 2 down.
Merle, we have a trivia winner tonight in the Merle Harmon's Fanfare trivia question. Other than Rafael Palmeiro, name the 3 current Rangers that Nolan Ryan struck out. Actually, he struck out 5 others. Jim Sundberg, Jeff Russell, Craig McMurtry, and 2 on the DL, Cecilio Guante and Jamie Moyer. The first correct caller was Dean Perry from Orange, Texas. It's down around Houston way. Dean gets a gift certificate from Merle Harmon's Fanfare. Good at any one of their locations, coast to coast.
Fred Manrique, no balls, a strike. He singled in the 1st and grounded out in the 4th. The Rangers need to get a run here just to break the ice. Breaking ball stays up high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, the pressure is even higher on the Rangers to get a run here because of the quality of the Oakland bullpen. Games against Oakland, you've got to figure our 6 or 7 innings long, because if you get to the 8th and you're behind, you're in trouble with that crew, because some of the very best bullpen pitchers in the majors sit down there.
And of course, Dennis Eckersley is one of them.
Well, Merle, your stat sheet points out something that's incredible. When Oakland leads the game going to the 8th inning this year, they are 65-2.
Not bad.
That'll do. That'll do.
Bouncer to third, wide of the bag. Nice play by Carney Lansford, and to get Manrique by a step or so. 3 up and 3 down for the Rangers. So at the end of 6, it is still Oakland 2, Texas nothing. Well, Bobby Valentine and the men in blue are in disagreement about something, and we have not been able to determine what it is. It was a 1-2-3 inning, and after the inning ended and we went away, Bobby was out of the dugout having a chat with Larry Young. And
Merle, that wasn't a chat. That was about 2 minutes of screaming at Larry Young and at Larry McCoy. Bobby was red hot about something. I saw nothing in the last inning.
This is a replay of how the argument started, whatever it was about. Okay, back to the top of the 7th, and Gino Petralli is now catching Nolan Ryan as Walt Weiss, the number 9 hitter in the lineup, leads off.
Ooh. Bobby got tossed.
Maybe that's what the big argument was about, getting tossed. Weiss fouls it down the right field line.
Oh my, look at the catch by Dick Egan. Did you see that snap by the hat, Merle?
The last time I saw somebody do that with a straw hat, the ball went right through it.
Watch this snag by Egan. Oh. Where was he 6 years ago when this club desperately needed a shortstop?
2 balls to strike. 3-1. Well, a guy with the cotton candy caught one day down the right field line. Remember that?
Oh my. Some of our viewers, I'm sure, remember that one. The ball literally stuck in the stand he used to hold the cotton candy as he walked through the stands.
Pop up on the infield. This will break Ryan's strikeout string as the ball is handled easily by Manrique. Nolan had struck out 5 in a row. In the 5th, he fanned the side, but he started out with a 5,000 strikeout against Ricky Henderson. Then a single and a 2-base error produced a run for Oakland. Then he struck out Hasse and Henderson to end the inning. Then struck out McGuire, Phillips, and Steinbach in the 6th. And now Weiss has popped out.
You know somebody tomorrow is going to print his name in the paper as RICK-KY Henderson.
Probably. Henderson has fanned twice tonight. He was 4,998 and 5,000. Breaking ball low. Ryan has whiffed 11 this evening. This is what happened to Ricky Henderson to get his name in the books. Strikeout number 5,000. Now in this pitch, he grounds to third, and Buechele throws him out at first. 2 down. Boy, Ryan has pitched well. They got to get him some runs.
He's pitched even better than the scoreboard indicates, because one of the runs came on a fly ball that Espy should have handled at the base of the center field fence.
2 down, nobody on. We're in the 7th. Carney Lansford, 2 out of 3. Nothing in 1. He grounded out in the 1st inning. Then he singled and scored in the 3rd, and singled and scored again in the 5th.
Lansford and Weiss are the only athletic players not to strike out tonight.
Driven to right. Sierra is there. And that'll do it. So now the 7th inning stretch by a sellout crowd. And let's see if the Rangers can do something in their half. And we'll be back after this. Harold Baines leads off at the bottom of the 7th. Ball went outside from Bob Welch.
We'd like to remind you that Saturday is Home Sports Entertainment batting helmet night. All youngsters 13 and under with a paid admission receive one of those Texas Ranger batting helmets. Run out to the ballpark, watch the Rangers and California Angels, and take home your very own Rangers batting helmet.
1 ball and 1 strike to Baines, who has flied out and struck out. Fouled away, third base side. Bob Welch has pitched brilliantly tonight. He has given up only 4 hits and not more than 1 in an inning. The Rangers have had only 1 man reach second. That was Franco, who singled and stole second to lead off the 5th. But then Welch struck out the side. Just got the end of the bat on it, fouled it back.
I'm going to ask our statisticians John Anthony and Bob Thomas to check me on something. My score sheet shows of the last 12 hitters that Welch has faced, he's been ahead of 11 of them. Only Buechele, that he fell behind 3-0 and came back to strike out, was he behind in the count.
1-2 pitch. Missed outside as Baines laid off. Here's the line on Welch for 6 innings.
Wow. 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. That'll play.
You betcha. No walks. Man, you love to see that if you're a manager. You love to see that if you're a pitching coach. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Welch going for his 14th win. Ryan is 14-7. Welch is 13-7. Three and 2. Marcel Latchman, one of the, or rather Rene Latchman. Marcel, his brother, is the pitching coach of the Angels. Ball 4, and Baines is on with a walk, and that is the first given up by Welch. There's Dave Duncan.
Bob Welch has been an outstanding pitcher in Oakland, but he's been only an average pitcher on the road. Where he's really tough is in the Coliseum, even though he's been sensational tonight. Bob Welch, counting his Dodger stint, if you go back 3 years, Merle, in home games he's 34-18. In road games he's just 18-20.
Well, Dave Duncan, you saw him a moment ago on his way to the mound, and as he stepped out of the dugout, he looked down to the bullpen, and it didn't take any semaphore signals to get that bullpen busy. That's Rick Honeycutt, the left-hander, and the right-hander is Todd Burns. By the way, Rick's little boy's here tonight. Saw him prior to the game.
Normally the A's would get Gene Nelson up in this situation to be their right-handed counterpart to Honeycutt, but Gene Nelson's not going very well right now.
By the way, the Prime Network, our affiliate, has signed a 3-year rights agreement to the newly formed Senior Professional Baseball Association to telecast 30 games per year to an estimated audience of more than 18 million cable households. I know you've been reading a lot about this Senior Professional Baseball Association. Some of the names that we talk about: Craig Nettles, Louis Tion, Steve Yeager. Players have to be 35 or over. Should be a lot of fun. Here's Sierra fouling it back, strike 1.
Mark the Bird Fidrich, Al Oliver, Vida Blue.
Oh yeah. HSC, of course, is a member of the Prime Network. In the Southwest, Prime Sports in the Midwest would be launched this year. Prime Sportsnet in the Rocky Mountains, and Sunshine in Florida. Sunshine will do the originations for us. Double play ball. There's one, and safe at first. The ball got away. Sierra will be at first.
Rangers get a bit of a break when Weiss's relay throw isn't good because they may have had Sierra. Then they get a bit of a bad break, Merle, because at the end of this, This ball almost rolls into the dugout, and it catches the lip at the front of the dugout and stays out. If it had trickled in there, Sierra could have gone to second automatically.
So he is on with the fielder's choice. You cannot assume that the double play would have been completed. So Sierra's on, replacing Harold Baines on the base at first. And here's Julio. Franco is 2 for 2 tonight, so he has half the Ranger hits. Somebody's got to nail one pretty soon.
After 3 pitches or more tonight, that is when Welch has gone 3 pitches or more deep, he's only been behind 4 batters, and this is the 23rd batter he's facing. Is that fabulous control?
Not bad.
Wow. Tell you what, this is a much different game when hitters are swinging at your pitch rather than you throwing them the pitch they want.
Fastball inside. Franco laid off, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 runs, 5 hits for Oakland. No runs, 4 hits for Texas. A sellout crowd. In fact, the second largest crowd in Ranger history is here tonight. Ooh, right through there.
The word we get from the Ranger locker room and clubhouse area is that Bobby Valentine was upset with Larry Young's calls ball and strike wise tonight in the game, and finally he'd had enough of it. That's what precipitated the argument. And you're going to get tossed when you argue balls and strikes.
42,869. Previous high, or the record high, is 43,000 and change.
That's the biggest crowd of the year, though, to see the Rangers play. Merle, it starts a run of 6 games that could be truly fabulous at the box office.
Franco is gone. 2 down for Palmeiro. 9 strikeouts for Bob Welch.
Jay Miller, the director of stadium administration here, Merle, estimates that tomorrow and Thursday there'll be at least 30 in the park, and that the weekend series with the Angels figures to draw right now about 105,000. So we're looking at about 210 to 215,000 over the 6 games.
That man pitches Sunday night. High and away to Palmeiro. Palmeiro has struck out twice this evening. The base hits belong to Franco with 2, and Manrique with a single in the first, and the other base hit to Chad Kruger in the 3rd. Popped him up. Dave Henderson, and the Rangers do nothing in the 7th. Now we'll go to the 8th inning. Oakland 2, Texas nothing.
We approach the 8th. Nolan Ryan has gone well past the 5,000. He's now at 5,005. And Merle, I tell you what, you take it with Canseco. We set up the fact that Larry Kelly put out this week, the Rangers assistant media relations director, a complete list of everyone Nolan Ryan has struck out. And at the end of Canseco's at bat, we'll have a little fun with that list.
Canseco had some fun in the 3rd when he singled to drive in the first run of the ball game. Gino Petrali replaced Kruger in the last inning behind the plate. Canseco hit a ball to center field in the 5th inning off the glove of Cecil Espy, and he was charged with a 2-base error and an unearned run scored for Oakland, and that's how the A's lead 2-0. 0-2 to Canseco. His first game against the Rangers this year, because he was on the disabled list at the beginning of the season and through, well, back through the All-Star break. He's gone.
5,006 amongst the list of last names of players Nolan Ryan has struck out. He's gotten 1 blue, 3 greens, 8 browns, 3 whites, and no blacks. He's gotten a flood and a rivers. Trio 3 times. A law and an order. He's rung up 3 bells. He's sold. He struck out Moses, Jerry Moses. He's gotten the Adams family, Glenn, Mike, and Ricky, and he sent bench to the bench 7 times. He's gotten 13 Davises, including Trench, your favorite Davis. In this day and age of big dollars, he's gotten cash, money, and price. He's fanned a king and a queen, Hal and Mel.
Is that all?
No, there's more.
0-1 fouled away, and it is now 0-2 to Ron Hasse, who has struck out twice tonight.
He's fanned a Lawless and a Crook and several players who've been in jail. He's gotten Ripley, believe it or not. He's gotten an alley, a shoe, a gamble, a strange, a bass, a bean, a bird, a cat, a moose, a cookie and a bip, a hacker, a belcher, and a klutz.
Oh, was anybody named Smith in there?
Bunches of Smiths.
Yeah.
No other Ryans, by the way.
0-2, and Hasse is gone. Strikeout number 13 for Ryan.
Let's see, Hasse's now number 4999, 5001, and 5007. Ron was all around it tonight, wasn't he? He was all around fame.
Well, Nolan Ryan has given up 5 hits tonight, has recorded 13 strikeouts. But boy, over the years, so many times he's had nights like this and no offensive support. This ball is fouled away. And earlier in his career, some of his own wildness, bases on balls, put men on base. And I'll tell you what, the old saying, walk is as good as a hit. You've heard that a jillion times. Well, when you walk a lot of people, it's like giving up base hits, and you can still record a lot of strikeouts. But Nolan Ryan has corrected all that. He is a controlled pitcher now, as well as throwing smoke. In fact, on the 5,000th strikeout, he was clocked at 96 miles an hour against Rickey Henderson. That was in the 5th inning.
And Merle, tonight's start continues another string for Ryan. This is the 144th start in a row. He hasn't allowed double-figure hits. Is that a remarkable run? 144 starts in a row going back to the middle of '86.
Everything he does is remarkable.
Ryan has now thrown 13 straight strikes. 14.
Breaking ball, punch to right field. Sierra there, 1-2-3 inning of the 8th. Well, Ryan has now retired 11 in a row, and it should be 12 except for an error. So at the end of 7.5, it's still Oakland 2, Texas nothing. Boy, there are a lot of K's on the outfield fence tonight.
There's not enough runs on the outfield scoreboard tonight, though.
Not for the Rangers. They trailed 2-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. And we will have a pinch hitter to lead off in the bottom of the 8th. Pete Incaviglia was due, but Rick Leach will bat for him. Leach hitting .273 with 1 home run and 22 runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes from Bob Welch. The A's had the bullpen up in the last inning. Bain started out with a walk. Sierra got on by fielder's choice, but then Franco struck out and Palomero flied to center, and that ended it. 2-0 to Leach. Let's see what happens on the next pitch. You know, the indicator, one of the indicators anyway. When a pitcher's getting tired, then those pitches start to come up. So Hasse has got to go out to the mound to give him a chance to take a little blow here, although he has just started the bottom of the 8th.
Not so sure. This is also a chance for the Oakland bullpen to get up and get moving again.
Tony La Russa.
Tony's got a new contract extended through 1992.
Well, he deserves it. 2-0 to Leach. 2-1.
By the way, the Kansas City, California game has restarted, and the Royals lead it 1-0, bottom 3. Gubaza on the mound for Kansas City.
Ooh, high and tight. He really got jammed. 2-2 the count.
That's Mike Witt for the Angels. Angels come in here after they visit Kansas City. Or we could have some standings changes over the next 6 days.
Wow.
Somebody gets hot of those 4.
Fouled it off.
Tell you what, Merle, the team that's a threat to get hot is that Kansas City team that's now won 7 in a row.
That's hot already.
Yep. And if they beat California tonight, they would be just 2.5 behind the Angels.
Royals have won 8 of the last 10. Popped him up. And the third baseman Lansford for the out, 1 away.
Boy, you're never going to see a better example of a jam job, are you?
Mm-mm.
Third baseman Steve Bushell.
So now Bob Welch faces Steve Bushell, who was grounded out and struck out. Thanks to the gang from Pizzeria Uno for sending up dinner tonight. They're all watching over there. In fact, they've got the TV on and the sound up, and the ball down low to Bushell. Boy, today people were scrambling to order HSE into their homes to see this ball game tonight, or trying to find a place that was showing it on a screen. Hasse is back. No play. Ron Hasse has done an excellent job in handling Bob Welch this evening.
He's done an excellent job all the time. You know, Welch has won 16 of the last 19 times Hasse started with him.
Well, he's his own personal catcher. Nolan Ryan works with Chad Kruder now. There's nothing wrong with what Ryan has done tonight. He's given up 1 earned run and struck out 13, but the Rangers haven't been able to do anything with the bats until Bushell parks one to left field that Ricky Henderson comes up with and holds him to a single. So the Rangers have a base runner with 1 out of the 8, and Petralli coming up.
Rangers have changed their base coach situation. Lopes is now the first base coach, and over to third goes Toby Harrah.
So Dave Oliver is in the dugout, either possibly running the club or taking the messages.
I think you may have hit it. Oliver's taking the messages from a man who's not supposed to be sending messages.
Smoke signals. Petralli pinch hit in the 6th inning and struck out. Then he stayed in the game to catch. He batted for Kruder. That's a strike of the knees.
You know, Merle, Bob Welch has been a quality pitcher, but he struggled in his lifetime also. His book, 5 O'Clock Comes Early, out a few years ago, detailed what a struggle he had with alcoholism as a young player.
Too low. 2-1 the count. Welch has given up but 5 hits. The A's have had only 5 off Nolan Ryan. 2 runs for the A's, 1 unearned. Too high and away. Ball 3, strike 1. Tony La Russa, I'll tell you what, this could be the end of the line for Bob Welch if he loses Petralli, because he's got his ace in the bullpen now. Strike. Petralli had started to first. 3-2.
Well, you be the umpire on this ball. Oh my! Looked a tad outside. Bobby's even steamier now in the clubhouse.
Boy. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Well, what a critical call that could be in this game.
Man, and how? Be the tying run at first.
That's right.
Already. Well, maybe Gino can hit one out of here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 8th, the Rangers are down by 2. Double play ball.
What a key call by Larry Young.
So the inning is over. 1-6-3 on the DP at the end of 8 complete now. It's the Oakland A's 2, the Texas Rangers nothing.
Tomorrow night, the Rangers and Athletics play game 2 of this series. It'll be Kevin Brown on the mound for Texas, the ace Dave Stewart for Oakland. Join Merle and me live at 7:30. Ranger Baseball on Home Sports Entertainment. Check your local listings for more information.
Rick Leach stays in the game to play left field. He had batted for Incaviglia. Now leading off for the A's in the 9th inning, Mark McGuire with a walk, a fly ball to center, and a strikeout. Popped him up. Short right field. Sierra is in and Franco is out. Franco, one away. Tony Phillips will be next. Here's the average speed of the Ryan fastball per inning. See, it's so consistent. 95 in the 5th and 6th innings, 93 in the 8th.
In the 5th and 6th, he struck out the side both of those innings.
And I believe the highest clocking we got was 96 miles an hour on the 5,000th strikeout when he got Henderson. 1 ball and no strikes to Tony Phillips, the switch hitting second baseman, who was struck out twice tonight. Ryan has now gone 13 games with 10 or more strikeouts this year. Popped up down the right field line. Sierra and Franco. And Franco again. Oh, didn't get this one though. Golly, Sierra's got the best shot at that ball.
That's something Ruben doesn't do well. He's a multi-talented, multifaceted player, but he doesn't run infielders off fly balls well at all. Now watch Ruben. He sees the ball. He can get it. He doesn't call Franco off.
See, Franco is going back for the ball though and reaching out over his shoulder, and the ball really was right in line with the direction in which Sierra was coming.
And that's not a strength of Franco's game either, going back on pop flies. He's okay at it. He's not brilliant at it. That's definitely a Sierra play. Error on Franco.
Kind of unfair, isn't it? Steve Reich. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tony Phillips. Fly ball to right. Sierra coming in. 2 down.
It's just one of those games, Merle, I guess, unless the Rangers rally, is going to have to be put under the boy, it's a shame heading.
Ryan has given up 5 hits, has struck out 13, and trails 2-0. Terry Steinbach is 0 for 2 tonight. Fly ball to center, a walk and a strikeout. Fouled away. Isn't this amazing? This guy's 42 years old, his 24th year in the major leagues.
Still popping away. 10 o'clock. Just dipped under 90 degrees.
Bouncer to third. And Buechele makes this play. 1-2-3. So Ryan has 4 perfect innings, 6 through 9. And has retired 14 in a row, gets a standing O as he goes into the dugout. And now the fans can only hope that the Rangers can do something in the bottom of the 9th to get him a win. We'll be back. Well, the National Hockey League is coming to the Tarrant County Convention Center on September 27th. The Detroit Red Wings will meet the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tickets are $12 and $18, and you can order them by calling 1-800-462-3374. Don't miss the NHL in the Metroplex, September 27th. Dennis Eckersley on for the bottom of the 9th. So Welch is through for the night. He pitched marvelous ball tonight, going 8 innings. He allowed no runs and 5 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 9. And Eckersley takes over, and the first batter he will face will be Cecil Espy. Eckersley, who came off the disabled list just like nothing had ever happened to him. He's had a tremendous year once again for Oakland. And Espy fouls the first pitch off. Eckersley, 34 games, 1-0 record-wise, 25 saves. He's only pitched 36 innings, so you know he's a closer. 38 strikeouts in 36 innings. Fouled away by Espy, who was 0 for 3 tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. Rangers trailed by 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Fouled away again. The A's bullpen is tops in the American League with 47 saves and an ERA of 2.61. Eckersley missed 40 games with a strained right shoulder. High and away. Here are the save leaders in the American League. You see that Dan Plesac and Doug Jones and Jeff Russell are tied for the lead with 28 appearances. Espy is gone. 10 strikeouts for Oakland pitching tonight.
Your attention, please. For the Rangers, number 8,
Now Jack Doherty is going to bat for Fred Manrique. Jack with 1 homer, 2 RBIs, hitting .364 as a switch hitter. Nolan Ryan. Nobody, but nobody will ever break the record of 5,000 strikeouts or more. It's more than that already. 5,000. See, 5,006, 5,007, and counting. Driven to center field. Dave Henderson is back though for the second out. Stay tuned after the ball game. We're hoping that Nolan Ryan will be joining Norm Hitzges for a few words. And what is going through his mind right now? I'll tell you what. We want to win. Win, win, win. Never mind the strikeout record. Fouled away by Harold Baines. Win, win. Baines has popped up, struck out, and walked. He said earlier he'd gladly trade the 5,000th strikeout for a victory tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. And a strike called, and that'll do it. So the ball game is over. Eckersley strikes out 2 here, and the Oakland A's take the first game of the series on a brilliant job of pitching by Bob Welch, matching the efforts of Nolan Ryan. And of course, Ryan was the story, getting not only 5,000 strikeouts but plenty to spare. And so Nolan Ryan does it. The first guy that struck out in 1966 was Pat Jarvis. The 1,000th was Sal Bando. The 2,000th was Ron LaFleur. 3,000, Cesar Geronimo. 4,000, Danny Heat. 5,000, Ricky Henderson. And we'll be right back.
We're with Nolan Ryan in the Ranger dugout. Are you glad it's over? Are you glad that the quest for it's over and you can get on with work now?
Yeah, Norm, I really am, because I think that the whole thing, I'm sure, was somewhat of a distraction, not only to me but to my teammates, and you know, I'm glad that I was able to do it at home, and I'm just disappointed that we didn't win tonight, but that's one of those games, and we're going to have to just put it behind us and come back tomorrow night and get after it.
Nolan, the team appeared from a distance, and it's hard to judge things like this, like it might have been a little flat tonight, distracted by your quest for 5,000. What do you think?
Well, you know, I think we were flat, and I hope that wasn't it, but I think that's understandable with all the attention that's been around and the people, and so it's a tough situation for him to come out and play under.
The strikeout of Ricky Henderson. Describe the pitch. Describe your feelings when it went by his bat.
Well, it was a 3-2 pitch, and I fell behind him again, and I just threw him fastball low and away, and it was in a good spot, and then he just missed it.
As the day approached, even after more than 20 years in the big leagues, how much antsiness, how much nervousness did you feel today?
Oh, I was quite nervous today, and I think having a day off yesterday probably even made it worse because I sat around and thought about it, and with the news conference yesterday and then all the phone calls, so it gave me a lot more time for the thing to build up, and so I'm really relieved it's over with.
Two final questions for you. You look back on over 20 years, the incredible marks you've put on the board, and the career continues. What's the secret of the longevity?
Well, I don't really have the key to that. I think, I was blessed with a good body and arm, and then I think my work ethics and my concentration on mechanics and some of the new training techniques that we have, I think all these things have paid off.
Nolan, in April of 1983, you got number 4,000. In the press conference afterwards, someone jokingly said, "What about 5,000?" Well, Nolan, 5,000's been approached. What about 6,000?
Well, I'm honestly saying, Harm, I don't think I'll be around for it.
I have a funny feeling the crowd doesn't agree with you, Nolan.
Well, I don't make predictions anymore. We'll just have to see.
Good luck to you, Nolan. Congratulations. Tough loss, but congratulations on another marvelous milestone.
Thank you.
That is Nolan Ryan. Back to Merle Harmon.
All right, Norm, and the fans have stayed around. Congratulations to Nolan Ryan now by the Commissioner of Baseball. A tremendous tribute to one of the all-time greatest pitcher in baseball history as far as the fans here tonight are concerned. Well, without a doubt, the Texaco star of the game is Nolan Ryan. 13 strikeouts, including number 5,000. He gave up only 5 hits, 1 earned run, but he didn't get any runs to work with. So Nolan Ryan is our Texaco star of the game. Texaco, the star of the American road. So the day has come and gone, and 42,869 will tell their friends and neighbors, their fathers and mothers, their brothers and sisters, their children and their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren that they were here to see Nolan Ryan strike out number 5,000. But as I mentioned earlier in the game tonight, I saw a little youngster about 3 years old with the dugout prior to the game. And I thought to myself, when he is 100 years old, if he can make it, he will never hear or see of a pitcher striking out 5,000 in the major leagues again. Nolan Ryan, a 2-0 loser, but a great winner in his great baseball career. The executive producer of Home Sports Entertainment is Jack Stanfield. Senior producer and director of tonight's game, Bob Steinfeld. Texas Rangers baseball is produced by David Handler. Technical director, Kevin Spivey. Engineer in charge, Glenn Anderson and Chris Barrett. Associate producers, Jim Fellman, Gina Atchison, and Greg Mayuro. Statisticians, Bob Thomas and John Anthony. And remote facilities by John Crow Production. Be with us live tomorrow night at 7:30 as the Rangers and A's play game number 2 of the series. Final score of the game tonight, the Oakland A's 2, the Texas Rangers nothing. Stay tuned now for the Texas Rangers postgame show coming up next. Join us tomorrow night for game 2 of the series. Kevin Brown pitches for the Rangers and Dave Stewart for the Athletics. Texas. You've been watching Texas Rangers baseball. Tonight's telecast has been brought to you by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And by Texaco, star of the American Road. And so the festivities here tonight at Arlington Stadium are complete. Unfortunately for Nolan Ryan and the Ranger fans and baseball fans, he came out a loser tonight, although he did bust that big 5,000 mark with plenty to spare. In fact, 7 to spare. Welch pitched outstanding ball for Oakland. He gets the victory, 14-7. Eckersley recorded the save. Well, let's go back now and show you some of the highlights of what Nolan Ryan did tonight. Whiff, whiff. There's number 5,000. Chad Kruder, his catcher, goes to the mound to congratulate him. Nolan Ryan had said, I don't want the game stopped, but I'll tell you what. They stopped it anyway, and deservedly so, because Nolan Ryan had done something that no one else has ever done, and so help me, no one else ever will. For a VHS copy of any HSE Rangers telecast, send a check or money order for $29.95 to this remarkable game. Texas Rangers, 5251 Gulfton, Houston, Texas, 77081. Join us tomorrow night live at 7:30 for Game 2 of the series. Now this is Merle, Harmon along with Norm Hitzges saying good night from Arlington Stadium. This has been an exclusive presentation of Home Sports Entertainment.